never slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no
side heading to turn one. Bahosa's on the outside though, so Ramadhipa holds firm. Basically, your pole sitter Gabarini ran wide and had a massive moment there, so perhaps just getting
running wide again at turns 2 and 3. We just had confirmation that the number
P1 as you head to turn 1. Now, of course, keep in mind 2 long lap penalties to caught out offline.
Perhaps getting caught out by the conditions, just running wide. A bit of a smoke coming. Tank has taken, so that's Remy Samwan has completed his long lap penalty as we
serve for Bahosa. That should be around 6 seconds lost, maybe even a little bit more.
There, perhaps just under braking the tyre, locking slightly, or a bit of rubbing, or big head down on the run through turns 4 and into turn 5. And it's Christian Beri
for being so slippy out there. You don't want to throw it down the road at long lap penalty look.
Absolutely not. And obviously if he goes on the green, well, he's take crash at turn 5.
Yeah, so a big crash at turn 5. Quite a few riders down.
Borelli, who has the slipstream. Angelix Longarella. It's Borelli who actually makes taking that long lap. He'll then have to do it again, so he has to be very careful. I suspect his strategy was
there, and quite a few riders there just trying to pick up the machines as quick as possible before
the move is very tight through turn 5. Longarella taking the lead through the try and get away at the start and get as much of a gap as possible. Hasn't been able to do that. We're seeing a 5-rider group.
Well, carry on at the front, but some disappointment.
Run into turn 5. Christian Borelli now in P1.
Yeah, great ride. So
fighting for victory here, and it looks like he's just making a move into the lead ahead of Ramadhipa.
In there, definitely, as they try to get the bikes restarted. But at the front, Ramadhipa hits the front bar for the number 7. And well, it's been a great race so far for him.
Under braking at turn 5.
Yeah, now of course we'll carry on. Ramadhipa fighting back straight away. Now overtakes the 69 of Bahosa, and well, the race is certainly on. And now he's going to be hoping to try and take the lead. He's going to be trying hoping to take victory, but look as well, they make their way towards turn 6 now, and then we're heading towards where they'll now trying to get into the slipstream. Gabarini had indeed dropped back. It's on the attack straight away on the 46. 5 laps remaining, so moving long lap penalty actually is located. So 69, will he take the first of his long laps this time around? Perhaps now going to be dropping back for even further down the order, back down to P5, because we're into the closing stages of this European Talent Cup race. This is where moves begin to be important. This is where he moves. It looks like he will, so diving into the long lap penalty now, should lose around 2 or 3 seconds. Well, Lucas on his tail as things stand, as 69 looks up the inside once more. Set yourself up in a nice position. It's almost 3 wide heading into the Imola. And where will this drop him back to? He entered P3 inside the podium places, and now he slots in for a dive bomb there over at turn 13, and now Ramadhipa is going to fight back as they head into the final section of the circuit. The came as Longarella now slots back into P2. Lucas, that Carlos Cano slots in behind, so perhaps P13 at the moment now for the 69 away final sector now as the clean-up operation at turn 5 continues.
Yeah, Bahosa looked like he got a great start.
Back down to P3, potentially now second position once again, but Carlos Cano, he's there for that 2 update, but Carlos Cano nonetheless inside the point scoring positions, and that is
his lights went out, was just unable to hold P1 through turn 1, but settled in.
P4, the number 1 is on the attack, and he wants another 25 points to his going to be job done for 1 of Bahosa's long lap penalties.
It is, and we'll check into that slipstream place. He's gained from his grid position, obviously still has the double long lap to take.
Name so far this season, he wants redemption after a tricky weekend over at Jerez.
How much time he lost taking it. As you said, Cano up to 13 at the moment, and it looks
so Carpusian there showing as one of the riders that have crashed. Almeida as well. Looks like Ethan Sparks. Of course, he started on pole position, but it wasn't smooth sailing for him. The championship leader Longarella, he's clearly
like Bahosa was around Cano when he rejoined, so 12-13.
Well down as the 99 and 69 have been given their penalties to not scared to get his elbows out.
He's not Longarella, just taking, well, I think he was forced wide there. Carlos place perhaps for the Spaniard.
As now Alvaro Lucas looking up the inside, the 69 will serve from now on. Of course, Tina having fought through.
Kind of, as Lewis mentioned, up to 4th place, an incredible comeback. He's actually into 3rd now. He's ahead
Looks up the inside, but the CEF Moto Aspar rider thinking better of it. Slotting back into P3 earlier on today. He's put in all that work and now race over at lap 1 as Bahosa at the front.
His championship rival. So, Kano from the 9th row fighting for
the time being. Now, of course, Ramadhipa, super impressive in qualifying of the field.
Bahosa's taken the lead. Ran slightly wide there, but able to keep it. Podium positions out in front. Borelli is leading Alvaro Lucas, but there's nothing to separate them.
Now leading the race. Longarella sets the fastest lap, but that was soon beaten by 2.
Ramadhipa inside in the slipstream will get a great run heading into turn 5, and turn 3 will be crucial. It's time to get the power down. Whoever gets the power down first.
3 riders as Carlos Cano now holds the fastest lap. So Cano pushing on.
Question about whether yellow flags will still be out, and it looks like they are with the light flashing there. So we'll have a huge advantage on the long run into the Adelaide hairpin. Carlos.
Perhaps this is going to be his charge to get inside the top 10 as Gabarini hits the front once more. So
something just flying off in the background there as well.
Yeah, that looks like a front mudguard that was
Cano just sitting behind the top 2 at the moment. Bahosa has set the fastest lap.
So the 81 showing true pace and showing that he belongs in P1.
Yeah, obviously ran wide on the
bouncing its way through the gravel trap there. So no more front mudguard for one of the riders.
Of the race. Under braking for Alvaro Lucas, getting very squirrely under brake. First lap from pole position, but hasn't let it affect him. He's just quietly gone about.
In this group, but Ramadhipa now looking up the inside once more on the 32. He does
for Adelaide hairpin, but able to keep it together, remaining in second place as he looks to attack his business. Now back in the front, we see Cano and Bahosa going side by side on the right
in a very, very aggressive move. He takes the lead. It was hard, but it looks like Bahosa.
Christian Borelli, the race leader, into turn 5, and Bahosa looks like he's ahead. Is he going to go?
Was just able to keep on to the circuit. I think the 69 perhaps has got a bit of a scare.
Carlos Cano sitting in 3rd, just ahead of Alex Longarella. As the top inside of the number 20 as well, he is.
A solid move there. Of course, Cano, when he's seen the 32 of Ramadhipa coming up his inside.
It did look like that, but able to keep the bike up to title rivals fight for the podium positions. Cano has come from lead.
He's had work to do, and he was, as we see actually, a crash there for the 26.
Right, slots back into second place and will look to take the fight to Ramadhipa on this lap. 9th row of the grid. After the 180